Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United. This video podcast, during the course of this video podcast, I'll be going into a few housekeeping notes in relation to Manchester United. But before I get into that, you know that I don't care about Manchester City that extensively because they're our rival. But yesterday, I woke up to the unfortunate news that no player died. By the way, at least not not outside of football. In football, you could say a player's career passed away. But I got the unfortunate news that Sergio Aguero was forced to retire due to his heart concerns. And when I saw this, I was reminiscing on the time where Sergio Aguero was facing Manchester City. Of course, you Manchester United fans know that Sergio Aguero notched the 20th league title away from us in 2012, but we made it up for the upcoming season 2013. So you could say it was a blessing in disguise because we won it back anyway. But in relation to Sergio Aguero, it's unfortunate what has happened to him. Outstanding striker. Yes, he bagged he scored a lot of goals against Manchester United. So I'm not going to be, a baby about that. But what he has accomplished during the course of his time at Manchester City is very admirable. Some persons are saying that the person behind this madness of Sergio Aguero, his health concern and his retirement is Pep Guardiola, which I wouldn't too agree with, but I wouldn't say he's not. I would say he's probably a part of it. I wouldn't say he's the primary reason why this has happened to Aguero. So I will not be saying that. But Aguero as a striker, I'm going to be doing a video. I think I did a video before, but I'm going to do an upload of Sergio Aguero against Rooney because this is becoming more of an current controversy in relation to the rival clubs of Manchester. So all I want to say is this, man. Rest easy, Sergio. Health is first. Football is only for a time, but health in some cases is, I wouldn't say it for eternity because nobody can live for eternity. Nobody is immortal like that because we're mortal beings, but health is more primary. So yeah, man, go get your meds, take your vitamins, and go enjoy retirement. In relation to Manchester United, the first piece of news we have right here is that Manchester United have broken up with Martial, player wants out report. Now I knew this was going to come at some point because see a lot of players, man. Here's the thing, man. Let me take this out because I'm getting distracted. There's a lot of players that have been complacent. They have been lethargic. They have been lazy. They have been static. They have been stationary. They have been dormant for a long period of time. They don't want to get off their behind and put in the work. And when a manager that is more edgy, I wouldn't say more shady, but he's more of a manager really, and he comes into the dressing staff room trying to change a post, trying to change the behavior of players for the better, of course. There are some players that's not going to want that type of lifestyle because they have conformed to previous coaches. Mourinho, but I wouldn't say Mourinho was that type to have Martial being a state of complacency because Mourinho is the type of grandfather that gives you tough love, and Martial wasn't feeling that. That's why Martial was not a main choice of his. But with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a good guy. He's a nice guy. He's not going to get down like that. So because of that, players like Pogba, players like Martial have been in a state of complacency for a long period of time, for about 3 years now. So this is conditioned in how they behave as a player. So they're not going to have the justification or the ammunition or the motivation to get off their asses and do the work. But seeing that, Ralph has come into play, he's Martial knows that this is a manager, this is a German manager that is looking for his system to press his players to press. And Martial, everybody knows that Martial is a very good player. We know that he has potential. He's actually 26 right now, so his potential should be more. It should be more of his self play right now. But at this period of time, I don't see Martial making the cut for Ralph. I just don't. I just Plus his agent came out and said that Martial wants to leave in January. So, with how things are right now, hey, I know all of us remembered. Listen, hey, listen. I remember that goal from Martial against Liverpool. His two goals against Southampton, where he just dished out Van Dijk on the floor, left him for dead, sent him back to Netherlands or wherever he came from. I remember all of that. His first season under Van Gaal, he was the main scorer. But there's a time in life where certain things we have to just move from the past and move on to the future. Martial is coming to the prime of his career. He's not starting as much games as he should be. At this time, at this moment in time, and let me just say this. When Martial was doing bits in his first season, there was a young youth on Twitter that was tweeting his name in all capital letters. That person, that is Mbappe, that was tweet. I don't know if the tweet is still up. He probably took it down because he has more fame now, so he doesn't want that comment to be out there now. That person tweeted Martial with exclamation points at the end. Now that person that tweeted Martial's name is more of a better player. At least has more more status than Martial himself. How can you allow that to happen? How did that even happen in the first place? So right now is a good time. I don't know if it's a loan or a permanent deal. Whatever the case is, right now is a good time for Martial to leave the comforts of and confinements of Manchester United and stretch his wings a bit. We have young players. I know that Manchester United is born on the fact that we believe in young players. But man, Martial is young, at least in life. But in football, man, this dude should be starting game week in, week out. So this dude cannot be rotting on the bench, man. We cannot have Martial on the bench for a long period of time. I don't think he's content or settled with being a second. He's been sloppy seconds to a striker if he gets injured. I don't. So if Martial doesn't want to put the work in and thrive and have the drive to score goals under this new reign of Ralph Rangnick as manager, I think it's best he leaves, man. Whether it's on a loan or a permanent deal, hey man, listen, there's a few times you just have to just cut our losses. Not really a loss. I wouldn't even say he's a flop. But there's a few times where we just have to move on, man. Just have to move on. There's clubs interested in Martial. Newcastle is interested. PSG is interested. Juventus is interested. I think Crystal Palace is interested. But one of the critics, not to spend a lot of time on Martial, but one of the criticisms that Martial himself has suffered for the past 3 to 4 years is that his demeanor as a player is very misleading. And I think this is where a lot of persons get the impression from Martial that he doesn't care about football, at least to the degree of competing at the highest level. He doesn't care about his career. He's content with where he's at. He's a settled player. He's a family man. He has a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful kids. So he's a family man. He's a married man right now. So he doesn't have the time. He probably doesn't have the motivation. Hold on. He doesn't have the motivation to push himself because he's a married man. But his attitude has been called into question. His motivation has been called into question. And I think that is the detriment of Martial. It's not that the talent is not there. We know that the talent is there. But it's just that it's not unleashed on a consistent basis. It's always there. It's just that more times there is no motivation, as if I'm Martial speaking on this. But I'm guessing that he doesn't have the motive. What I'm seeing is that he doesn't have the motivation to do that. And definitely under this pressing system, Martial is not the player to run through brick walls for a manager. Matter of fact, I was reading an article that said that Martial is the type of player to get a manager sack. No, I'm not going to agree extensively on that, but if there are some certain players that if they don't have the motivation to play for a manager, they're not going to play for that manager. So if Marcel leaves in January, if he see that's going to be much of a beneficiary to his career going elsewhere, then all we should cut tears and just move on, man. Comments below, leave your comments below. I want to hear what you guys have to say on Marcel, because it's about time we have to be cutthroat, man, because Manchester United has not been cutthroat. Our sword is very rusty. We're not very sharp in cutting players off, because we have this emotional, bond that we want to keep. We don't want to ripple the waters, so we just want to keep house on the safer shore of things. But see, that's the detriment thing, though, because that's not the game of football. But anyway, it says here that Man United set to lose 2 coaches as Kieran McKenna closes in on first managerial job. Who said Christmas doesn't come early? It's like them hey, listen, it's long time I want this dude to leave Manchester. Me talking about, hold on, I have to say this straight. Yeah, it's long time I want these dudes to leave Manchester United, man, because I see them talking on the sideline, but I can tell that they don't even know what they're doing, bro. Like, no disrespect to Michael Carrick, no disrespect to Mike Phelan, no disrespect to McKenna, but they're just out of their depths, man, in terms of management. So it says here that McKenna is on the verge of taking over Ipswich Town as manager. Oh, he's 35. And CR7 is 36? What? Anyway. Yeah, man. Hey, cut off McKenna, cut off Mike Phelan. Yes, you were decent under the reign of Sir Alex Ferguson. Cut him off as well. And cut off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer long ago. So this, we need to be cleaning up house now and moving on to a different era. Yeah, it's Christmas time. We can't allow Christmas to come here and we still have our house dirty up, man. We need to be cleaning up to have a good appearance for the Christmas. The next piece of news we have right here, so, is Dean Henderson eager to leave Manchester United in January. Now, this video is mostly based on players and their desire to leave the club, whether it's on a permanent basis or on a 6-month basis. If Dean Henderson, or I would call him Dean Koons, if Principal Dean Koons want to leave Manchester United on a permanent deal, or he wants to leave permanently to go to greener pastures, as you would think, then by all means go ahead and go to that greener pastures. Because this is not showing that he wants to be second fiddle, like, oh, you think you're too much of a player to be second fiddle to David De Gea? You're not going to start over David De Gea anyway. I think it's just based on ambition. Because see, in the example, in the context of Marcel leaving, potentially, some person might say, well, what if Marcel wants to compete elsewhere? Dude, this is just as a personal strong opinion of mine. Marcel is not the type of person that's going to compete. I think he's more of a settler. I guess that's why he settled his wife at a young age. But I think he's a settler because I don't think he has the motive. Like, we know he has the talent to be a world beater as a striker. But I don't think he has the mentality. I don't think he has the audacity to go upward and go forward with his career like that. I think he's going to be content, with getting 200k bucks per week and sitting his ass down on the bench. If he stays at Manchester United, that is. Man, this is messed up. Rebuke the devil, I rebuke you. But if he wants to If he wants to leave for the purpose of getting game time, yeah. So I don't see Martial being. I don't see him come. I don't. He's just. I do. He doesn't strike me as the type of person to compete. Like if there's three good strikers in a squad and one is starting up top and all three of them is very good in the but all three of them is trying to compete. I don't think Marcel is the type to try go through brick walls or try to go through rivers and valleys to start. I'm not I'm maybe I'm wrong for some reason, but that's how I'm seeing it right now, man. I don't I don't see him as that type. So anyway, bringing this fullback to Dean Koontz himself, Dean Henderson. Where's he's going, by the way? Because that's the answer is that he wants to leave, but the question is where is he going to? Cause I don't even think that Dean Koontz and David De Gea get along. That's an opinion of mine. Cause my man is saying, yo, who is this Spanish? This washed up Spanish wall, the Spanish wall starting over me. This dude has the fingers of a slippery Joe. Why is he starting over me? He cannot even keep a ball to save his life. Why is he starting over me? This could be due to ego, but sometimes they just have to move to get some game time. Because again, Dean Henderson, if he was at a good club or any club for whatever, he would be starting. He would be starting. He's that good. He was with Sheffield United 2 seasons ago, and I know that he's no goal scorer because he's a goalkeeper, but he helped Sheffield United stay in the Premier League that season, and they were in a decent spot. Nobody expected him to. So we know the qualities of Dean Koontz. We know that he's more of a combative, authoritative, aggressive goalkeeper. That's not David De Gea. David De Gea is more of a. David De Gea is not a Neuer. He's more of a shot stopper. He's not He's not going to come out of the goal. That's not David De Gea. So Dean Henderson, he has that foreign spirit in his bones. He might want to move just to experience what life is like on the other side of the tracks. So maybe he wants to move to another club permanently, or I don't think he wants to leave permanently. If he wants to leave permanently, then that in itself tells you that he doesn't want to be second stringer or sloppy seconds to a washing up goalkeeper like David De Gea. So I guess you could say it's due to ambition. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say on Dean Koontz or Dean Henderson. You guys call him Dean, I call him Dean Koontz. I want to hear what you guys have to say on Dean Henderson, because maybe he just doesn't want to settle for second place, and that could be due to having a winner's mentality. But, who's to say, man? The game of football is all about opinions and conception. So, who's to say? I'm just giving my opinion. The third piece of news, other piece of news we have right here. I think I covered this already. Hold on. Okay, let's talk about the COVID situation. Because for some reason, this is the first time since the advent of COVID-19 came out that a lot of players from different clubs or staff members of different clubs came down with the COVID. And because of that, games are now postponed. Manchester United's game against Brenton or Bradford, I think it's Bradford, has been postponed. The game against Brighton has been postponed. Tottenham hasn't played a game since December 5. Real Madrid, I think Luka Modric and some other player is tested positive with COVID. So I'm not sure of this outbreak apocalypse of COVID, man. So don't be surprised if you see some players from your club walking with their hands stretched out, with their mouth open, and their eyes are rolling over, and they're going to attack you. This is the outbreak of COVID. This is the COVID apocalypse. So don't be surprised if they're trying to grab you. You see me? I mean, hey, I know hindsight is 2020. Someone might be making some move in 20 or 25 years time talking about making a movie about the COVID, talking about the night of the COVID, the COVID outbreak or something like that. So it has affected some players because again, some players have been brought to the sword with COVID. They have been tested with COVID. And of course some games are not played because of COVID. You see me? So yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo and Mason Greenwood problems resurface in Manchester United dressing room. Yo, listen, I knew that CR7 was going to clash with one of our attacking players, particularly one of our young attacking players, because see, as I said in a previous video, let us bring back. I know some of you guys hate history, some of you guys fail history back in school or elementary school or high school, but let us bring back time a bit. Remember when CR7 was a young youth? This arrogant young youth that came from Portugal or from Madeira came to England and he was a winger. And of course, having Ruud van Nistelrooy at the time, that was our main goal scorer. Do you know that Ruud van Nistelrooy, and I said it in a few videos backwards, I don't remember the video. But I basically said that Ruud van Nistelrooy had a problem with CR7's decision making when it came on to shooting. Because as a young winger, I know that you're trying to, express yourself. You're trying to show that you're God Almighty on a football, or you're God Almighty, period. And when you're young, you're ignorant. You're trying to show your ass, as your grandmother used to say. You're trying to show your ass, trying to show your backside. You're trying to show that you're good in the field that you're in. But that didn't sit well with Van Nistelrooy, because he was basically saying, how can you be dribbling on the right hand side? What's the dribbling move again? Step over, and you come on your left foot and try to shoot from the right hand side. Give me the ball. I'm in the box. Give me the ball. Cross the ball to me. Give me the ball and I will score it. Don't be coming into the box, doing your step overs and coming on your left foot and shoot. Boy, give me the ball. You're a young youth. Respect your elders. Give me the ball and I'll shoot. And I'll score. Fast forward, CR7 is now having the same problem with Mason Greenwood. So that works. So I don't think CR7 should be frustrated. Wait, it says here, Mason Greenwood is becoming increasingly frustrated with CR7's influence at Manchester United as he continues to be left on the bench. Brother, see, this video is all about ambition and ego, because everybody is trying to show their backside, trying to show that they're good. They don't want to take second place. They don't want to take, silver medal. They want to get that gold medal. They want to start. So, me reading this is no surprise. Again, Mason Greenwood, bro, we know Mason Greenwood is a good player. Man, my lips are very dry because it's very cold here. So, expect me to be talking funny a few times. There's a few times I just forget the English language and I start talking this gibberish. Yeah. Hold on, give me a second. So this is not a surprise to me, man. Mason Greenwood, we know that Mason Greenwood will be starting at Arsenal, we probably at Chelsea, depending on the system, because they play a 5 at the back. But the reality is that we know Mason Greenwood will be starting at a lot of clubs. So him being benched at this moment in time where he needs to make his name as a player, I can understand his frustration. No, I'm not in the boots of Mason Greenwood, but I can understand his frustration because as a young player, you want to show that you're good enough to start. As person would usually say, it's not about age when it comes down to football, because if you're good enough, you're old enough, right? So with Mason Greenwood being frustrated with CR7, I'm pretty sure it's vice versa. Mason Greenwood angry with CR7, CR7 angry with Mason Greenwood. The thing is this, man. Right now is a good time because CR7 is not getting younger. Let me just say this: he's not God Almighty. He is not immortal. He has a battery that runs out. Excuse my English. And he's not getting any better. Matter of fact, I would say he's on decline. and he's been on the decline for a good while now. So right now is not a good time to leave CR7 on the bench, because he's not. We know that CR7 is very he's not going to allow himself to become second fiddle. And I've been talking about second fiddles in this video podcast, alright? But he's not going to take the role of being on the bench. He's not a Donny van de Beek. Hold on, I just got a message. He's not a Donny van de Beek, so he's not going to be content with being on the bench. His ego won't allow that. So Mason Greenwood now, he wants to get game time under Ralph. Now, Mason Greenwood under Ralph, when I saw him doing it so strong, when I saw him playing and starting against young boys, yeah, he looks bright. You know, he in that two striking formation with Alongo up top, he looks good. He looks good as a striker. So that's probably setting the standard of what is to be expected and what is to come. But my man has to eat his humble pie for a bit, man, and just settle his kettle, because we know that Mason Greenwood, yes, he wants to start, but CR7, man, he's always going to be the main man. CR7 is not going to be on the left wing. He's more of a striker now. He has evolved. He has adapted. So he's not going to be this fast, fluid, bursting on the wings, prime 2009 to 2013 CR7. He's not that. No, he's not that type of player no more. So respect your elders now, and accept the fact that you'll be on the bench for a bit. Now it depends, because in this 4-2, in the 4-2-2 formation of Ralph, my best bet is that he started doing it already, but he's playing CR7 and Rashford as the two strikers on paper. Now, of course, in the game itself, Rashford is going to deviate on the wing. We all know that. And CR7 is going to find his ass. He's going to pitch his tent in the box with Sancho on the right hand side. We all know this. So I can understand he's frustrated with his game time, but CR7 is trying to show that he's still good enough to play in the Premier League. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be benched. Again, man, his ego won't allow that, man. But you can understand the friction, the frustration of Mason Greenwood, because he wants to play. He wants to show that he's the top dog. Plus, he wants to get game in for England. Although Southgate is trying to find every excuse from the excuse book to use against Mason Greenwood. Well, we know that Mason Greenwood is more than good enough to be started for England. If you have Sterling started for England, why not Mason Greenwood? And Mason Greenwood is a better footballer than Sterling. The last piece of news before I finish this video, because I don't want to keep you guys up so long. I just wanted to shed some light on the latest news, because I've been doing much videos lately. You see me, and I think I owe you guys a video podcast. So, Cristiano Ronaldo's girlfriend Georgina Rodriguez has no fear of critics trolling her. It's just a territory that comes with it when you're playing in England, man. Persons are going to troll you, whether it's your wife, whether it's your boo, your love of your life, whatever. You're going to get trolled. You're going to get trolled. I mean, if they're burning down Ed Woodward's house, breaking into his house in England, then of course you go get trolled as well. What's another thing? I guess that's it then. So the game has been called off against Brighton. So in this time period, there is no excuse for us to use talking about, well, we need rest to play 3 games a week now. We need games. Yes, we need games, but we need rest so we can perform at our best. No, bro, you got more than enough rest from the games that have been postponed. Now is not a good time to be using excuse to be saying that, yes, the COVID situation is bad, but we still need our rest. No, bro. We have more than enough rest. Right now is a good place to get points to advance in the Premier League title. At Arsenal has gained a position in the fourth spot. This is Arsenal that finished about 14th last season or something to that effect 2 seasons ago prior. We can be allowing that. We can be allowing that. Alright, I'm on the 38th minute mark. Before I start talking foolishness, I'm going to finish this video podcast right now. So, the wrap up is this, man. If Martial wants to leave, he wants to go back to Greenwood Pastures, maybe he just doesn't have the motivation, the ammunition, the drive, the passion, the thrive to just be the best that he is, but he just wants to settle, get game time, score good goals at some other club, whether it's in France or he has the ability, he has the chance to go play elsewhere in Germany or wherever, let him go. Let him go. If he wants to leave genuinely, let him go. If we love a player, let him go free, man. Let him go, man. Let him go. Let him go flap his wings. Let him go. Again, if Dean Henderson wants to leave and get game time to improve himself as a goalkeeper, by all means, but hold on right now. If we let go Dean Henderson, I know Lee Grant is on the pension bench, but who is going to slot in as the second place goalkeeper? Because we're not going to be playing Lee Grant now. Lee Grant has been at United since 2018, and I don't even think he has played at least 2 games for Manchester United. So to bring this cobweb, the dude off the bench to play in a game, I don't think he's going to have the energy to stretch his wing to make a save. So the question is, I don't even know who's going to be second stringer, because again, Romero gone, he left to go back to Argentina, I believe, or he retired. But I'm wondering who is going to be second fiddle. So that is something we need to ask ourselves. And as far as CR7 and Mason Greenwood, man, the game of football is very competitive, man. But it should not bring it to the point where you guys have beef, like dressing room beef, like you guys don't get along. Because persons just have to know their places, man. Persons just have to know their places. When persons know their places and they accept the fact that, some games they just have to hold a seat and relax themselves and be benched. Sometimes that's the best choice, man. You have CR7 that's on the peak of, I wouldn't say on the peak of his powers, because this is not 2015 now. But he wants to get the most goals. He wants to compete. Let me just say this, man. I know CR7 knows he's never going to win a Ballon d'Or again. He knows that. He knows he's not going to. He knows he's not even one of the best top 10 players right now. He knows that. He's not in the top 10 right now. The best he can do is to start and get goals. He knows that. So, comments down below, like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll show it to you guys in another video. You'll hear from me when you hear from me. That's it, man. Manchester United, I know egos is a big thing in football. Everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants to show, their backside to get top position. But sometimes you have to eat a humble pie. Sometimes you just need players to compromise on their position and relax and allow other persons to be in a better position than them to help bring the team forward. You see me? I think that's so. Again, I'm just giving my opinion. But anyway, I'll show it to you guys later. Deuce.